Welcome back, everybody. This is Steve, and this is FreeDOS Part 3. I decided for DOScember that I was going to try out FreeDOS because I've never tried it before. So I'm doing my own first look series, and FreeDOS is huge. That's why this is Part 3 in the series. Part 1, we did the install. We looked over some of the applications that were on the machine. Part 2, we looked in the FDOS directory because FDOS. And went over everything that was outside of the binary files. And then we went into binary files and did all of the COM files. And there was quite a lot of them because there's a lot of stuff included. So that's why I'm breaking this up into multiple parts. This one is all about the executable files. So we're going to take a look at the executable files that are in there, if I can get my mouse in the right location. And if you would like to see the other ones, check out the links in the description down below. And I do a bunch of DOS work, and I do a bunch of DOS computer repairs, old PC repairs, up to like 486s, maybe some Pentiums, don't know yet. I do a bunch of repairs on Commodore 64 stuff, so if you're new here because of the DOScember hashtag, thank you, and hit the subscribe button to see more awesome content like this. But we need to go through these executable files and see what's going on. Append, there's only one. And in the last one we did assign. So in this one we do append, and append should enable program to open data files specified directories if the files were in the current directory. Okay, yeah. So the way that DOS works is it only looks in the current directory for stuff, and you have a path command which, if you are searching for a program to run, it will look in the current folder, and if it can't find it in the current folder, then it will look in the path environment variable, and the path environment variable here says c:/fdos bin, c:/fdos links. So it'll look in the current directory, which happens to be bin. It will look in the bin directory because it's in the path, and it will look in the links directory because that's the next one in the path. And it does it in that order. Now, if I'm looking for a file, let's make a file here, and we'll call it test.txt. This is a test. We'll save that file, and if we do type test.txt, it will do that. If we move this file to c:/temp, move test.txt to c:/temp. Now if we type in type test.txt, we get no answer back. We do append c:/temp. Now we say type test.txt, and it should give it to us, but it doesn't give it to us. So maybe we need to edit test.txt. Nope, that didn't do it either. So I've never actually used append in the wild before, so I tried to do kind of an impromptu demonstration of how it should work. Extend append to searches and command execution. Apply append only to request to open files. Defaults to X off, which we did. Search appended directories for file requests that already include a path. This is the default setting. Switches off, path on. Stores the appended directory list in the environment. Append semicolon clears the list of appended directories. Append without parameters displays appended directories. Append c:/temp. Yeah, that should be doing the thing. Oh, really? The move command was being a little too literal. Okay, so move, which actually just renamed the file. Instead of moving the file into the directory that I specified, it moved it to, anyway, move c:/temp. Space c:/temp.txt. temp/temp.txt. Unable to create it. I don't want you to create the directory. It should already be there. Maybe I wiped it out. Okay, so move c:/temp, c:/test.txt. Don't mind me, I'm just fixing a mistake I made. And then tried to demonstrate something based off of the mistake I made, and it didn't work because I was mistaken. Anyway, that's what we do. We experiment, we fix things. We move on with life. Make dir c:/temp. So the move command is pretty destructive. Move c:/, because I think what happened was, yeah, so there's now a folder called temp. And when I did move c:/test.txt, c:/temp. Oh, and now you're going to do it right? Maybe there was no temp folder in existence before. Either way, that's a pain in the butt. So there may not have been a temp folder. I tried to move the test.txt file to the temp folder thinking the folder existed, and since it didn't exist, it just renamed the file, which is perfectly legal and exactly what I asked it to do in that circumstance. Then I tried to demonstrate things like being able to type the file that was no longer in the current directory because the append command now has it in the search path for files, and it works. Thank you. Okay, so now let's go back to the demonstration. That was fun. So the append command lets your command search for files in the current directory, data files in the current directory, and also search for them in the path. So that Dropbox thing over there, that's my security camera. So something moved in my basement. Probably one of the family members. At any rate, so the file is not in the current directory. As you can see, there are no text files in the current directory, so we type test.txt, which we know is in c:\temp, and it will show you the contents of the file. And then we do append semicolon to wipe out the list. And now if we do, it won't be able to find it at all. So that's how that works. Clean up after ourselves. BC should be a calculator. For details, type warranty. 1 + 1, 2. 2 + 2, 4. Excellent. Interrupt. Use quit to exit. Quit. Okay. View. That sounds bad. Binary viewer. That was a weird way to give help. Okay, so I haven't used binary viewer before, and since I told binary viewer to view itself, it launched and it went into a setup, and all of that's fine. And this is what binary viewer looks like, and this looks like Norton Commander. So there's view. Bitmap to PNG would convert a bitmap file to a PNG file, I bet. And I don't have any bitmap files to convert. Bmp to PNG. A bitmap to PNG converter. Man, I'm smart. Bookshelf. Bookshelf list. Critical error. Help file does not contain anchor for books. FreeDOS bookshelf manager. List add delete. List add remove book entries from the help file containing the books respectively. Okay. I don't want to mess with the help. I might need help. I probably do need help. I'm probably beyond help. bunzip2. bunzip2 would unzip files that were zipped with the bzip utility, the bzip2 utility. There were no files matching. So there's bzip2. So we do bzip2 space bzcat.exe. So now there should be a bzcat.exe.bz2 file. bzcat.exb. bunzip to bzcat. I won't read compressed data from a terminal. So yeah, so I used bzip2 to zip, to compress the bzcat file, and it went from, you can see it here, it went from 2048 bytes to 1764 bytes, so it did a little bit of compression work on it. And then I used the bunzip2 command to unzip that, but for some reason it didn't change the file extension back all the way, probably because I didn't give it the file name to extract to. But you get the idea of what bzip does. Bzip and bzip2 and gzip and zip and z and lzh and 7zip are all file compression utilities, and bzip2 is one that happens to be used a lot in the Linux world, so that's what that is. It's good to see it here. All right, bzcat would show files inside of, bzip2 would compress, bzip2 rec, probably a recovery utility. bzip2 recover, extract blocks from damaged bz2 files. So I'd have to have a bz2 file and then damage it and then try to recover from it. Check disk. FAT32, oh, we did this before in an earlier video. FAT32 is not supported. Choice is the DOS command for choice. Yes, okay, so that worked better than vchoice did, but that's because I didn't read the documentation for vchoice. CPIED. Looks like code page editor. No code page open. Okay, it's neat. Okay, so let's do cpied /cpi /ega.cpx. It's not that big of a file. Yeah, it just went crazy. Reboot. So no tab completion when it's not in the current directory. 100, no valid file at this path. You're right. Oh, there we go. That looks a lot better. I guess it didn't like me putting in the path. So code page 437, and these would be the EGA fonts, and this is the entire ASCII table, and I can go in and I can change the way the letters look. So I can change the way the B looks. Did it change it live? It did not. Oh, it did change it live. So there you see an example, if you can see the mouse cursor on the screen, of the letter that I edited. Let's make it a little blockier. Let's fill in the bottom so it doesn't look like a B anymore. Let's fill in the side over here. Yeah, so there you go. And let's exit. The CPI is open, continue anyway. Yes, because I don't want to save it. CPU stat. Oh, all kinds of information about the CPU. Intel Core i7-8557U CPU at 1.7 gigahertz. So this is seeing through. Most of the DOS commands see a VirtualBox as a 486 processor. So this is seeing all the way through, and it's seeing all of the features of the processor. So if I wanted to do something fun that required MMX, I could type defined MMX, and then if that came back with the error level of 0, then I would know in my batch file that I could use MMX extensions in the program. So there's some stuff, you can do some branch logic with this information. That's pretty cool. CPU stat, CT mouse is the cute mouse driver. We've used this in another video about mice, so check the channel for exploring mouse drivers, because we did that once. Resident part reset to PS2 port. Excellent. CWS DPMI, and we've used the mouse already when I did the code page editor, so you know that the cute mouse driver works. CWS DPMI. Display power management. Okay, you're not going to tell me? Guess we don't need to know. CWS DPR0. These CWS programs are pretty sneaky. CWS DSTR0. Not see off. Check for viruses. Okay, we'll have to check for viruses when we get there. There was some clam AV stuff on here, but I'm not seeing like clam scan or anything, which we should be seeing right now. CWSD stub. Still thinks there's a virus. CWS param. Full name of paging file. Sure. Number of page tables to initially allocate. Auto. Minimum memory desired before 640. Oh, gonna page out DOS memory? Paragraphs DOS memory reserved when paging. Sure. So now let's do CWS. Nope, no changed. Alright, that's the end of the C stuff. Nope. What do we got for D's? Debug, we did debug already. Defrag, I love defragging. Program cannot be run when a DPMI host is active. That could be some of that stuff. Yeah, so all that CWS stuff loaded a bunch of stuff into memory. Let's do reset. Oh, that was fast. I was doing reboot before. Reboot's slow, reset's fast. And it did the mem on the screen, but let's do it anyway. All right, no DPMI stuff, so let's do defrag C:. Hey, we can do defrag now. Oh, they changed the characters that we use for defrag. It's not fragmented. I want to do it anyway. All right, you can now reboot the computer or exit the defrag or continue using defrag. I'm going to defrag another time. I'm going to defrag harder. That's what I'm going to do. No, but the drive was already defragged because we just started this. But it is nice that it is included, and this looks a lot like the Microsoft Optimize, Microsoft Defrag utility. So, I mean, beg, borrow, or steal, just make something that works. Exit defrag. Dialogue. Ooh, that's a lot of stuff. Nope. I'm just guessing. Maybe there was an easy way? Nah. And of course we can't page the output. Hey, there we go. Displays dialog boxes from shell scripts, dialog options, and widget options. Create RC file, ASCII lines, aspect ratio, back title. There's a lot of stuff on here. Comment options followed by box options. Box options, calendar. Weird. Tailbox big. Okay. Can't make a new window. Okay. Can't make a new window. Why are you telling me -5? Expected no more than 4 tokens for deselect have 5. Right width. Yeah. Don't know why it's given me that. Okay, so that is 4 lines inside of here and 20 characters wide. And it picked // which is fine, but it didn't give me any directories inside of // to pick. But it's a start. We made some progress. Let's try the ASCII lines. Yep, that's what I expected to find there. Box. Nice. That's interesting. So it's a tool to use in your batch files to do a bunch of stuff. Disk copy. I don't have any disks to copy. Display. FreeDOS display. Missing a parameter. You gonna tell me what they are? I love it when it does this. Okay. DOS32A. DOS extender. That would be like the DOS4GW. We ran into a DOS4GW thing in the apps. Don't remember which one it was. It was a CD player. That wasn't it. DOSXDN2 E3. That wasn't it. Okay. DOS FSCK. Should be file system check. Maybe this one can do what check this can't. 532, long file names enabled. It's crunching. Ah, there we go. It only worked because it didn't work. And then it aborted and gave me that automatically. Toggle. Drop that file. Salvage unused chains. List path names. Interactively repair. Test for bad clusters. Try to undelete that non-directory file. Verbose mode. Write changes to disk. Boarding. No such file or directory. There we go. Hey, now it's giving me some useful output info. So it doesn't feel like we're just sitting here staring into the weeds. So yeah, it works. We don't need to see the whole thing. DOS shell. Oh, hold my beer and watch this. FreeDOS shell. There are files that begin with numbers. Good thing there's not that many of them, so I didn't miss them yet. 7-zip DEC, 7-zip decode. Mouse works. Not bad. What are we going to do with an unmaximized version of DOS shell? Oh, that's neat. View. Single file list, program list, repaint screen, file, open search, view contents, create directory, options, view, colors. Can we get the gaudy colors of the DOS 4.0 shell? Wallpaper, logo. What logo? Huh? They stole the Windows logo. Options, colors, 3-dimensional window shadow default. Oh, it resets it back to default. Nice. Window logo bricks faces. Those faces. ASCII faces. Shading. Shading 2. Faces. Dots. Logo. Bricks. Nice. Window. What? Oh, pretty. Colors. And it switches back again. Default. There's a lot of choices in here. No, it just looks like there's a lot of choices. There's a scroll bar here, but there's nothing to scroll. That's fine. So there's no themes to choose from, but I can choose all the individual colors. Program list, single file list. I was thinking there was a way to get a second directory on screen since there's windowing options. File display options. Okay. Let's close that. Okay. I don't think it was designed to do that. Reboot. When in doubt, reboot. DU. Disk usage like in Linux. DZ. DOS zip. So this is a lot like Norton Commander also. The DOS zip Commander version 255. Excellent. There are so many different versions of the Commander out there. It is a great utility though. There's Midnight Commander that you can get on most Linux systems, including Mac OS, and I use it sometimes. Edit, Edlin 16, Edlin 32. Nope, not touching either of those. 32-bit Edlin. That's what the world was missing. Yeah, no. EMS stat gives me statistics on EMS, page frame, physical pages, raw page size, and then very little in EMS. FC, file compare. Yep, they don't compare. What a shock. F dimples. This is almost as bad as tickle. Package media not found. Please stand by. Ooh, FDimples, FreeDOS installer, my package list editor software. I think they made up Dimples first and then tried to find a way to make it work as an acronym. So these are all the installed packages, and if I had installer media, then I could install more. See, ClamAV is installed. We'll have to figure out where it installed it to, because I haven't seen it yet. Now let's go back up, because this utility would be able to tell us. Oh, it's in C:\DOS util. We looked in C:\util. Cancel. Oh, we did not look in util yet. Okay. More videos. That was FDimples, FreeDOS installer program. FDINST, lightweight package installer, alternative to FDN package. Okay, so we don't need to look at FDN package. We did FDisk already in a previous video. It's the same FDisk that you get in DOS. It actually even looks exactly the same. But it was able to make a 6 GB partition, so it exceeds the 4 GB limit of a DOS file, but that might be a file inside of an 8 GB partition. Can't be bigger than, yeah. So maybe that was not a good test, but I was beyond 512 megs. I was not beyond 512 gigs because this machine that the virtual machine's running on doesn't have a 512 gig hard disk in it, I don't think. And if it does, it's got stuff on it, so it wouldn't be usable anyway. And format, we did format when we formatted the drive, foxcalc. Okay, that works. Fox type, open source programs in the DOS type command. The main differences are the fox type works in graphics mode, so it does not allow redirection or piping. And it displays UTX. All right, UTF. So we do fox type out.txt, and it runs slow because it's running in graphical mode. And I can go forwards. I have to wait for the entire screen to draw. I can go backwards. This is the help output from the dialog command that we just ran. And it really would be nice if they'd given you an example, because it looks like it does some really interesting, useful stuff. But the syntax was pretty arcane. Oh, fade to black. Sexy. No, I think there was one more fox, or that was the last fox. Yeah, that was the last fox. GNU CHCP. Change code page? Yep. I don't have a code page to change to, but it would change code pages. Code pages are fonts for your DOS console. grep, we know what grep is. Pipe to grep for exist. Hey, that works. Pipe to grep for yellow. Nope, there's no yellow in that output. gzip 386. Oh, because we need the faster version of this. Yep, it didn't find it faster. Nope, it didn't work. It's gzip 386. Ah, I'm just reading too fast. gzip and gzip 386. So let's do gzip grep.exe, which is 89.679. grep.exe compressed to grep.exe. So it cut it in half. gunzip. Okay, there's no gunzip. Decompress. Well, I don't know why I did z. d-s-exe. Hey, and it's back to 89.679. Excellent. So that worked, but it didn't use the suffix like I told it to. Move grep.ex, grep.exe. Hey, and grep still works. gzip 386, grep.exe. Okay. 41.965. Yep, same thing. HiMemX. Device driver is loaded in config sys. Please place before any driver using XMS. Well, yeah, because if you didn't, there wouldn't be any XMS. So that's your high memory driver. HiMemX2. HTML help. Oh, nice. So this is like the other help tool. So it's an HTML viewer. No eyes. What do you call a fish with no eyes? JMFBHLP. Needed for FreeDOS only. It saves some interrupt vectors the way MS-DOS does, thus allowing to set Gem386's fast boot option. It must be loaded in config sys before the XMS host. Huh, interesting. Gem386. EMS is on, 38 of max 1987 pages, page frame, VCPI, DMA, A20, VME, PGE, UMB. Excellent. Kind of the same information. Exactly the same information. But not the same program. Key B is used to set the different type of keyboard layout. Keyman, key manager, XKeyB not found or incorrect XKeyB version. Keyboard driver for FreeDOS. Resonant part was not installed. Still not found. Forces the installation, ignoring the current driver. Let's force it. Keyboard driver. Specified file could not be opened because I didn't specify a file. All right, so let's do that. PC 437.key. And then we do keyman. It does. It says XKB not found or incorrect XKB version, but it's XKB 1.5, and we did install it. So that's not working. Label. Now we spell label wrong. And I want to change this to be FreeDOS. So it changed the label. Less. Less is like more, only it's better, which is funny because that means that less is more of a more than more is, even though it's less. Unless you can page for files, or you can go back up. Oh, I pressed the up arrow and it wants to give me help. So yeah, less lets you do searches and move around up and down in files, go to the beginning, go to the end, all kinds of stuff like that. Less key. Let's try to run the stuff in there. Long file names for DOS, which then starts a new command interpreter. Okay. I don't think any of these files have long file names. Uses lowercase, uses bare format, display files, display 4-digit year, list files, display wide, pauses. I guess it would show long file names all on its own anyway. I don't have a file system with long file names to explore. Keyboard not installed. Yep, so we're back to that XKB thing that did work. Because it was 1.15, which is later than 1.1. What do we got? MD5 sum. So MD5 is a hash of a file, and you can use this to verify whether files change or not. I showed this earlier with another version of this tool, but I forget what it was called. B something? There's the MD5 hash of the file. And if we change the file, we would know that it worked. Does it work if you just change the file date and timestamp? It does not care about date and timestamp. Mem, we did that. It's a little more in-depth information. You cannot run if the system is already in protected mode. So we would have to reset, go into safe mode, emergency mode. I did it again. Now trying to start, you have to reboot to leave, press any key. Might be something to do with this being a virtual machine. Mencoder? M-encoder. M-encoder compiled with runtime CPU detection, get path config problem. No, so we're going to encode a file. Yep, same thing. Not a memcoder option. So I would assume it's for encoding some type of data into some other type of data. And I don't have any floppy drives to put in there. So this is going to save unformatted information for your hard disk to a floppy disk. So it would know how to unformat your hard disk in the event that you formatted it. But all of that works because when you format a drive, you're not technically erasing all of the data. You're just marking it as clean, usually, under some circumstances. And so you can pull the data out from underneath of it. I have a video where I demonstrated that, so check back on the channel. MKB. Unknown keyword driver, English. United Kingdom. We can now pipe to less. Yeah, I can see why it didn't like EN. There is no EN. I guess that's because it's the default language. We've done move. Move EXBDA. Move XBDA. Moves XBDA to load memory must be run before the EMM in config sys. Device equals move XBDA. So what is the XBDA? mplayer, I was waiting for this. So I would need a sound file to play in order to play sound file. Do not play sound. So mplayer is actually a video player. Yeah, I don't have any music or video files, so we're gonna have to keep playing with that. MS edit. Really? Matu's saucy editor. MS edit. Nice. It's a Microsoft Edit clone, and I did it again. So it does the thing. And lsfunc is language stuff. No country.sys file found. Okay. Art. Ranish Partition Manager. Oh, cool. So install Compact Boot Manager. Nice. Uninstall Boot Manager by loading standard IPL. Hide partition, format partition, verify. Change disk. No disk to change to. It's a DOS extended. Inconsistent overlapped range. Setup module is not available for this file system. Active, yes, no. Okay. PG. This is safe for everybody. Probably a paging tool? Yep, it's a paging tool. So this is better than less and better than more. I might start a less more PG war. Don't mind me. I'm just making stuff up as I go along. Pico. Oh, the Pico Editor for DOS. I like it. If you're a Pico or a Nano fan, that's for you. Pilot lets you select graphically files to edit with Pico. PNG to BMP. We found a BMP to PNG earlier, and I didn't have any BMPs to PNG, and I still don't have any BMPs to PNG or PNGs to BMP. But that's what it does. It's a PNG to BMP converter. And I wonder why there's not like a JPEG to BMP or BMP to JPEG or GIF to BMP. I said GIF to BMP. Printf, that's the printf command for DOS. Printf is C-style string manipulation. No queues. Recover sector problems on a file. Okay, yeah, so that's a very old utility. You should not be using this utility. This utility only works on FAT12 floppy disks and FAT16, and this is a FAT32, so it ain't gonna work here. I'm surprised they included this. There are usually more advanced tools. Replace. Yeah, so this will replace files in the destination directory with files from the source directory that have the same name. Excellent. Lots of S's. SB. SB32A, bind utility, bind DOS32A to linear, stub32A, stub32C. Okay, yeah, I don't have a way to show you anything about that. SC, more of the same. Scan keyboard. Check the help file. Automatically scans keyboard scan codes and creates a key file with the data. Scan keyboard test.key. Oh, we're beach balling. What happened? That that consumed all of the resources of the program. Excellent. Search. Spelling counts. Searches for a file. Well, it's having trouble searching for a file because it's just giving me everything. Oh, there we go. Okay, 67 README files on disk. Nice. And it changed my directory. Don't like that. Sed. I would expect sed to be 320K. I would expect sed to be sed. Nope. So a little bit of overview on sed is probably outside the scope of this video, mostly because I don't use it all that often. Simple Senate throwing sticks. Oh, this is a game. That is not your piece. You cannot make that move. Try square 0. That is not your piece. You cannot make that move. I don't know what square 0 is. Okay. I picked up a piece. Okay. Cannot make that move. Okay. Do I want to quit the game? Yeah. Okay, so it's a game. It's a game of Senate. And somehow I won. Excellent. I believe I was the solid face, not the outline face. SHEXTCTL. So this is controlling the shell extensions. We saw that earlier. Shared file system, the shared extension, the extended sharing tool. That's what I meant to say. SHF drive 86. SHSU FDRV is still not installed. Oh, okay. Simulate a floppy or hard disk using an image file. So I'd have to have an image file first. So we'll skip over those. Sleep 10s, 10 seconds. So it's like the delay command, or is it going to sleep in 10 seconds? It's been more than 10 seconds. We reboot to fix things. That help command has been fairly useless all along. Sort. That's normally how sort works. Normally sorts the input. Oh, because it was waiting for the pause. And it's sorted. So sort does the sort thing. But the directory command that is set up in the environment says /p. So if I do set dir command equal /ogn, sort with directories grouped first and then by name /y. I forget what the y is. We'll figure that out in a second. Display a 4-digit year. So now it's not pausing. And it sorts right away. SR disk. Resizable RAM disk formatter. SR disk driver is not installed. SR dummy. SRD XMS. So we have to make a device driver for that. So let's try edit /FD config .sys, and we want to do SRD XMS. And let's just do it like so. $SRD XMS.sys. And it won't be able to put it in because that didn't work. Because it's going in before the XMS drivers. Let's find the XMS driver first. There we go. $device equals FDOS bin SR XMS.sys. Is that what it was called? SRD XMS.sys. And I spelled XMS wrong anyway. Save it. Reset. And I put it into the option 1. Resizable RAM disk E. Okay. So I made a RAM disk, but I guess it's not formatted. SR disk, drive E disabled, DOS disk type, size 1024. Don't care about the sector size or the cluster size or the directory entry or the FATs. Don't want it write protected. Don't want verbose. Okay. There we go. So I made a 1 megabyte disk in RAM. And since all of this is basically RAM disks at this point, I'm not going to really see any speed improvements. But there it is. It did the thing. So what is this SR dummy? SRDummy.sys. DOS version not tell the drive letter to cannot install SR disk dummy disk driver. That's 759 bytes. I can't imagine it does much. SS. Okay, so we talked about SVer earlier, but this is a way to trick programs into thinking that they're running with a different version of DOS. How do we get the MS-DOS version? Show kernel version, FreeDOS command shell warranty, contributors, redistribution. We'll probably come across it a little bit later. But it tricks the program into thinking it's running with a different version of DOS. So if I tried to run a program that was only designed for MS-DOS 3, and this is MS-DOS 7, it would say, sorry, this is MS-DOS 7. So SVer the program and tell it that it's actually running on DOS 3, lie to it, and then it'll run anyway. SWSUBST. Use this to join drives. Okay, so this is the modern version of substitute and join. And substitute allows you to substitute a drive letter for a path, and join allows you to join a drive letter into a path on another disk. So you're joining a drive to an existing drive, or you're substituting a drive for an existing folder. And so this is just the FDOS directory. So there you go. This is the contents of my C drive. That's the contents of my R drive. So you see appinfo bin CPI. And I realize I'm already in this folder. I'm just illustrating a point here. This is the same thing, appinfo bin CPI, etc. So that's the substitute. Now it's telling me that R is a physical substitute for C:\FDOS. There you go. And that's all the S's. tar is the tape archiver. tar-czvf space FDOS.tar.gz star. Tar can't open. Okay. C for create new, Z for old-fashioned compression or gzip, V for verbose, and F for next argument is an archive file. Why did that not work? I don't want to see a device list. Something's going on here. All right, let's clear out all the mess that we made. And because I didn't pick option 1, we should not have the RAM drive, and we don't, because the E drive is the CD-ROM driver, as you can see on the screen. So we do fdos/bin tar-czvf dos.tar.gz star. Can't open. Touch dos.tar.gz. Couldn't create the file. Why are we not able to write files? Oh, I know why. I'm being stupid. All right, so the reason why, in case you haven't already been shouting at your screens, is I can't do multiple extensions because this is DOS. Hey, look at that. It works. 306K. So that's compressed and contracted into a tape archive file. So this is just like the Unix tar command. tdep. The Thomson-Davis editor. This thing is lousy with editors. There are so many editors. Oh, this looks familiar. What does this look like? Tell me what this looks like, because I don't know why this looks the way it does. Escape. Can't escape. All right, how do we get out of here? Oh, making windows. Should be really obvious to, like, exit the program. Oh, there we go. F1 for help. Port command, Control/ for menu. All right, save and exit. Control Q. I don't want to save and exit. I just want to exit. Abandon all files. Yes, I want to abandon them all. All right, so tdep is an editor. TDER is an editor. But now we know Control/ is a menu, the other menu, and then we Shift Control Q to exit. It looks like a very capable editor, but this isn't the editor show. TDV. TDE can't open. I didn't ask for TDE, I asked for TDV. We already saw TEE before. Yeah, there's a TCOM and a TEXE. TRCH translates characters, yep. And there's also a TR, which does the same thing. TS, terribly sorry. Sorry, unable to read that menu. Oh, of course it's not in the help. Nope. UMBM-old. UMBM is assumed to be located behind UMB PCI or the XMS driver. This will allow to load the XMS driver and the EMM into a UMB, thus saving some conventional DOS memory as parameter. It expects separate memory regions. Okay. Couple of examples. Nice. Max 4 regions are accepted after DOS has grabbed the UMBs. Thank you, Japheth. Japheth? UMBM? Yep. Unformat. We tried that, so let's format D:. Quick format, if not combined with /u, can be unformatted. Well, first off, let's see what's on the D drive. There's a 0 file, command com, and FDOS. That's all junk that I copied out there. Let's format D:. Quick. Yes. And I have to type in whole words. We ran into this the last time, too. Test. Done. Skipping unformat. Mirror map pointer right error. Unformat will fail for you. Okay, well, I guess I can't demonstrate unformat because it has already determined that it will fail. It probably will fail because the disk is way too big. Let's do fdisk and shrink it down. Yes, I want to enable FAT32 support, and I want to delete, and I want to delete logical DOS drives, and the only one there is D. Yes, I'm sure. Escape, and then I want to create a logical drive in the extended partition, and I want to make it size in megabytes, 100 megabytes, 102 megabytes, because it never listened. I know why it didn't listen, but it's still annoying. Escape to exit, escape to exit. Reset is so much faster. Format it. Nothing. Can't find existing formats, so not saving unformatted information. Unknown unit for driver. Critical error. Maybe it didn't work if we didn't reboot. DOS device driver description, unknown unit for driver. Should have worked. I don't know what the unknown unit for driver is though. Okay. Yes. Delete. Delete. D. Yes. Escape. Create. Logical. Let's make it 512 megs. Nope, still can't get the exact right amount. Escape. 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 Reset. Okay, so maybe it was just too small for some reason. It's not terribly important. Copy C:/FDOS D:. Those are the only files. Copy /s C:/FDOS D:. No, of course I can't do it. Xcopy. There we go. I need to put some files on there. That's actually moving pretty fast. All right, so now we've got some files, 64 megs, doc packages, boot, blah, 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 blah. Format D:/Q. Yes. What are we talking about? Unformat. Saving unformat information. Mirror map is 8872. 1098 sectors. Mirrored. So now we do unformat. Really? List all files. Test. It was made back in 1998. So we can't unformat. Oh, so all of that and I can't unformat. Excellent. Yeah, so the drive works. That was a weird, wild roller coaster. That shouldn't, none of that should have gone sideways like that. Because D drives did exist in 1998. Unzip. Infozip. Extract, freshen, update. So I guess there's a zip and an unzip? There is a zip and an unzip. All right. Zip cloak. That was the last of the U's. WCD. Oh, WCD bin. Perfect match for 4 directories. WX. I don't know why it's telling me WX is up and down. C. FDOS bin. So this is like Norton change directory, where it will change to something kind of fuzzy. So let me see if I do WCD SAMCFG. Yeah, it's the only SAMCFG in there, so it's the only one that it changed to. WCD bin. This was a utility that I didn't use all that much. I think I might have used it in the beginning, the NCD tool, Norton Change Directory, and then kind of gave up on it after a while because I probably just got better at typing and knowing where my files were. Because you can't always guarantee that WCD bin enter C enter is going to take you there, because if you make another folder that is alphabetically before that, then it's not going to be option C anymore. It's fine. Which WCD? Okay, so this is just like the Unix which command. And whiptail was a program that made dialog boxes, I think. Whiptail. Oops. Yeah, I can't get a read on it. Mode con lines colon 50? Was that it? Mode con lines equals 50. There we go. Hey, now I can see it. Whiptail, I hope you guys can see it. Whiptail -- message box hello 20 by 20. Oh, nice. Tail. No hello. Default no, default item, FB, use full buttons. Nice, what are full buttons? And I put the wrong number of dashes. Oh, look at that, buttons are more pretty now. No button, okay button, cancel button, no item, separate output. Xcopy we did, XKB we did, XKEYBRES. Yep, XMSSTAT, extended memory stats. Yes, we have some extended memory. Free handles 44, no free UMBs available. They've all been used, folks. XMS test, total time clocks equals 7, and it tested all of the memory in extended memory area. Excellent. Zip16 SM. If it's Zip16 small, then it's already bigger than Zip16. Zip cloak. Encrypt all unencrypted entries in the zip file. So it's going to encrypt them. Zip note. Oh, it'll put comments on your zip files. Zip split. How many files it will take, but don't make them. Excellent. So what would happen is you would get a program that was really, really, really big, and you wanted to compress it, and it compressed from really, really, really big to still too big to put on floppy disks or make useful for downloading off of a bulletin board system or something like that. And zip split would then take those zip files and make zip.001, zip.002, zip.003, and you could tell it to make them a certain size. So you could make them 1 meg each. And then when you went on the bulletin board to download, you wouldn't exceed your, 4 megs per day download by downloading a 40 meg file. You could download 4 1 meg files and then come back tomorrow and download 4 more 1 meg files until you came back 10 days later and had all 40 files. So that's what that does. So there's all the executables and the com files and everything else in the last couple of videos. And there's other files in here that aren't executable or com files. So let's do something. /OE. First off, let's get rid of the dir command. Set dir cmd equal /y. Whatever. Probably no need to have a dir command at that point. OE. Should sort on extension. It does. Displays the top of a file. So you can't pipe to head? There's more than one way to skin this cat. First 20 lines. Nope, we got to do lines first. This is a persnickety little beast. Okay, so we did batch files. Fox type 640. Oh, okay. Fade to black. I didn't remember seeing a tail. Nope, there's no tail. There's only head. Oh well, more than one way to skin this cat. Batch files. bin, bln, config files. Command. Is that a thing? It is. Batch file for the TDE viewer. tdv.cmd? Yeah, okay. So Windows XP and NT use .cmd for BAT files, for batch files. And it could have been a different programming language than just the DOS batch language. One lang. There's all the com files. We can breeze right past those. I went over the com files in an earlier video, so I didn't go over them in this one. This was just the executables and maybe the rest. Foxtype.dat, spool.dev, a couple of DLLs, interesting. dz.dos, terminus.f16, interesting. cp936uni.gbk, less defrag, bu, help, icons, nice. Ini files, keyboard files, man files, OEM files, overlay files. It's been a while since I've seen overlay files. PIF files, Windows Program Information files from Windows 3.x, plug and play, shell, sys files. Any interesting sys files? Keyboard 234, country, kernel, the RAM disk, CDR cache, CD-ROM cache. That's nice. Nancy is the ANSI sys, the American National Standards Institute. It lets you display colors and move around on screen, and it's used for terminal programs and bulletin boards and stuff like that. I don't know what the FD is. UIDE. Then some junk files that I made. Cool. All right, so that's everything for the executables, and there's still more to go with FreeDOS. So be sure to subscribe to the channel for the next video in the series. Otherwise, there is a video right there that I think that you will enjoy. Thanks for being awesome.